Do you hate your morning commute, going through those tight and winding corners? Think of these Three Rivers RC drivers as they make a rumbling return to the Moon Speedway Road Course for the second time in the 2011 season. Bill Steinbach trying to make history, winning his third career road course race. Chad Limburger trying to win his first career road course race. It should be a good afternoon for Bill Steinbach, as he has lost 3 races in a row, and this is the perfect track for him to have a good comeback. Chad Limburger is your pole sitter after a surprising mistake by Bill Steinbach, messing up in turn 3, hitting the cone. Therefore, Limburger winning the heat race. Get ready for some rough and ready racing.
I'm excited.
I know. Three, 2, 1, go.
The green flag is waving, and Docta Drake 350 is underway. Chad Limburger, your early leader, down into turn number 2. Gets through the S's and exits turn 5 very well. Bill Steinbach makes some contact with the cone in turn number 5, and that will cause a caution here on lap number 2.
Wow, that was amazing. We're already seeing Steinbach mess up early, and Limburger actually has a significant lead here early. That's different than the last race we've seen. Steinbach takes the outside, and he just pushes Limburger right around. They did not take the green yet, and Limburger driving backwards. That actually is not going to be a penalty in the road course races because getting more than half a lap down causes a caution anyhow, and that would just be significant to be a lap down in this. Okay, we're finally under green again. Limburger has a bit of a lead here. He has perfect entries through all the corners, and a bad one into turn 5, but so does Steinbach, so he keeps the lead.
Going into turn number 2, Bill Steinbach outbreaks Chad Limburger, but Limburger made some contact with the wall up in turn number 1. Bill Steinbach hitting some of the cones in the S's, and we have our third caution here on lap number 4. The track maintenance team is on the speedway in the S's.
Technically our only second counted one because we didn't take the green on that one lap, but yeah, 3 cautions.
Limburger coming around, choosing the outside lane with the edge down the short chute into turn number 2. Bill Steinbach cutting corners very tight next to that Hoosier Racing tire. Going down the front stretch, they were inches from that outside wall. Into turn number 2, and Steinbach takes a hard lick on that tire and goes right through the S's, not even turning left and right. What a surprising mistake by Bill Steinbach here early in this one.
Yeah, that did not cause a caution, though. He has a bit of a lead here as Limburger was hitting some stuff as he went around for that lap, including some tires and that Hoosier tire in turn 2 and 3.
Coming through the S's, coming out of turn number 5. Limburger looks to the inside, but it's not enough. He's drafting right behind Bill Steinbach. Going down into turn number 2, he puts the bumper to Bill Steinbach, puts him in those tires on the outside of turn number 2, and that will cause a full course caution here on lap number 9. Track maintenance team doing some quick repair to the S's.
I think next year one thing they're going to have to do is put that tire wall and actually move it into the S's and then move those orange cones to turn 1 and on the second stretch there.
Going through the S's once again, Bill Steinbach running like a thief with the lead, really pulling away from Chad Limburger here early on lap 10 of this event. Going through turn number 2, rounding the S's once again. Limburger starting to cut into Bill Steinbach's lead, but he is making some significant gains, but it's not enough to be right up on him, is it?
No, it's not. You can definitely tell, though, Limburger's skill has improved on this track as he's already raced on it once.
Bill Steinbach pushing his car to its absolute limits and beyond, and maybe a little too far for Chad Limburger as he wrecks in turn number 2, causing another full course caution here on lap 13.
See, there you go with those cones again. I think that's why they need to switch out the tires. What do you think?
Yeah, but one thing the tires they're inflated and filled with air, so when those cars hit it, that's quite an impact for those little cars to take. Maybe 1G.
That's true, but they're just ruining the track on this race.
You've got a good point. Green flag is waving once again. Chad Limburger, your leader, surprisingly, coming through turn 2. Rounding the S's, Bill Steinbach looks to the inside, bumps Chad Limburger, puts him up into the wall at lap 15.
Wow, that was some skill there by Limburger, saving that spin down there in Suicide Corner.
Coming out of turn number 5. Both of the cars seem to be off the pace. They were both into the tire, that Goodyear tire on the front stretch. Bill Steinbach tries to block Limburger, turns the car a little too far left, hitting that Hoosier tire in turn number 2. Chad Limburger trying to pull away from Bill Steinbach here, but Bill Steinbach's skill over Chad Limburger really seems to be paying off, where Limburger's just driving all out to see what he can do.
Yes, and actually that has worked for a few laps, but not here, as Steinbach has quite a lead, and he's definitely turning those corners very tight, very nicely. Now he just goes through the center. Wow, we were just talking about his skill. What is that?
I don't know what he was doing there. A track maintenance team was on the speedway to do some major repairs after Steinbach's demolition to those cones.
Demolition derby with some stationary equipment.
We're still under the red flag here. Track maintenance team now leaving this. And Limburner just drives into the back of Bill Steinbach, jacks him up off the ground, maybe 2 inches. That was really some payback there, maybe.
Yeah, he messed him up. I don't know why he did that under caution. But we're under green flag now, and they're side by side. Went a little bit out of view. Steinbach just wrecks Limburner. Limburner has to back up, do a quick J-turn, and now he's back onto those S's.
And if Limburner wrecks again or makes even contact with the wall, he'll probably fall half a lap down and causing a full course caution. Bill Steinbach rounding turn number 5, coming across the start-finish line. Your leader, Chad Limburner, in a very distant second. Fishtailing through the short chute, just missing the S's completely, driving through, and that will cause a full course caution here on lap 22.
Yeah, he definitely went far out of the line of that speedway that time.
Coming to take the restart, Bill Steinbach chooses the inside lane, jumps a little bit before Limburner, but it doesn't pay off well for him. Limburner's all over him. Coming through the S's, Limburner looks to the outside, but he misses his corner entry, but he gets the car slowed down just enough to stay right with Steinbach. He takes the lead coming through the S's.
Limburner just cut that tight. Steinbach miscalculated his entrance, and Limburner took him underneath.
10 laps to go here. Chad Limburner with a small mess up in turn number 5, hitting one of those smaller go-kart tires coming through the short chute. Down the short chute this time, Bill Steinbach, your leader, coming through turn number 2, and Limburner has some trouble up in turn number 1. And you can see that one cone in the middle of the S is out in the middle of the track, but it doesn't seem to be bothering either of these drivers as they just keep going around it.
No, and the track maintenance team realizes that is not, all the way on the speedway yet, so they're not going to get involved. But we do have a caution here on lap 28 as Limburner falls half a lap down back there in those bike tires.
Limburner looks to the inside. He forces Steinbach up to the track, and he pushes him into that cone in turn number 5.
Just psychologically pushes him up there, really. He didn't touch him. He just took the inside lane, and that really messed Steinbach up because he's been running that line all day.
Bill Steinbach under pressure, trying not to lose 4 races in a row. Track maintenance team is going to repair that cone down in the S's. The yellow flag is back on the speedway, and Bill Steinbach coming around, and the green flag is flying. Bill Steinbach forces Chad Limburner up into that outside cone, and there's trouble in turn number 1. Chad Limburner spins Bill Steinbach, 5 laps to go. Steinbach's going to have to get up on that controller to catch Chad Limburner.
Yeah, definitely. Limburner really has an advantage here, but Steinbach's about to take it away from him, and he does in turn 2. Look at that, just goes outside of the speedway. No caution, though. Final lap, no cautions from here on out. Steinbach looks like he will have this in the bag.
Coming out of turn number 5, Bill Steinbach wins the Docta Drake 350 from the Moon Speedway Road Course. Chad Limburner finishing in second. And Bill Steinbach now cutting into Chad Limburner's points lead.
I must say, this was a disappointing race all around. I was really looking forward to it, but not very much excitement. Just Limburner getting down early, and then Steinbach getting down, and then finally Steinbach came out and pulled the win. But a lot of cautions here for a road course.
Yes, there really was. No driver seemed like they could keep up. And Bill Steinbach now cutting into Chad Limburner's points lead. We'll see if he can hold this momentum throughout the whole season to try to regain the points lead. We hope to see you here in our next broadcast on the Three Rivers RC Racing Channel.